Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, Hero Life, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to 1 vs 1 on Arnhem checkpoint. Between the south, you got Redxwings fighting for King and Country, the Commonwealth. Taking on the role here of the Guards Armored Division. Whereas in the north, you got Dave fighting for the Opel Commandos, Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here with the Panzer Division with Luftwaffe, Feuersturm and Special Operations, Sturmpioneer, Obersoldaten, Raketenwerfer versus Redxwings, Commando, Vanguard and Royal Engineers with double sections and armoured cars. So right here on Christmas Day. Hope you all got what you wanted. And I hope I got some donations by this time. Anyways, Sturmpioneer sending out there, Vickers on the way for Redxwings, Coolbang following up there for Dave, section flying a bit back and across the centre. Looks like Dave's going to focus hard on the centre, use the cooldown, then of course secure territory. At the same time, he's not going to just barge his Sturmpioneers into a situation like this. That's not going to save him out one bit. Rather, it's going to look to probably engage more favourably with the Sturmpioneers rather than just waste manpower on this. There we go. Universal Care Russian forwards here. Sturmpioneers been trying to support here the section. Section falling back though. Under heavy fire from the Volksgrenadiers. Taking quite a bit of damage there. Pushing it with the section. The Volksgrenadiers there. Almost got it down to half health there. Didn't quite land a kill. They got the Coolbang sitting out there for Dave with more Volksgrenadiers on the way for Dave as well here. And the Panzer Levi got Sturmpioneers taking man loss here from the Universal Care section. There is still going on. They're strong. Oh, finally suffered a loss there, but the Volksgrenadiers suffering more heavily. They rather managed to put themselves in a position where they actually don't get a lot of cover despite technically being heavy covers. That's not helping out. Biggest popping in here at this point. It will probably be the best for Dave to fall back rather than continue this engagement, since the Vickers can just in most cases out damage him unless he's got grenades ready, and he does not quite have the munitions yet. Which apparently was, I think that was actually a recent change they actually made, so you don't actually need any of the trucks to get incendiary grenades up. So, but if he just hold on until he gets some munitions, he can in theory flush it up. But the problem is, of course, he's going to have to sort of dance around it until then. Sturmpioneers need to retreat. They got more folks coming up there for Dave. And there you go, Brandhandgranate on the Vickers, burning it out a bit, doing some damage. Meanwhile, Coolbang secure territory on the west. Redxwings finally sent some forces eastwards. We got double Vickers out here for Redxwings. That is a, well, definitely Redxwings' strategy there. One section into double Vickers. That's certainly a lot of firepower and a lot of sense, but also not quite so flexible. Dave following up with the Raketenwerfer to help counter the Universal Care, which is definitely going to be a pain in the posterior for him. As for counter this, obviously one would be just trying to go for looks. The other option would be the Battle Group Headquarters light infantry guns. So that way try and deal with it. Dave here going for Feuersturm. Smoke grenades from the Volksgrenadiers could be an option, obviously. Sturmpioneers with flamethrowers, also an option. So, I mean, he's sort of assuming that Redxwings going to play a more static defensive strategy. In that regard, I mean, Feuersturm does provide a lot of tools towards countering it. Universal at the edge of the base there. Base is sort of just trying to peer out what Dave is up to here as he sweeps around and grabs more on the west there. Vickers pushing force there for Redxwings. He's playing it rather aggressively, of course, using the Universal as a spotter for it so he doesn't get surprised by anything nasty. Dave switching towards the sides of the map. They're getting his cuff one hit there. Sharp moves there by Redxwings, who's already tagged up, and he's going for a second section. Well, he is tagging up. And there you go. Coolbang trying to deal with the Vickers there. More troops moving in there. A killing effort spotted by the Vickers, suffering immediate losses. Half the team gone in a matter of seconds. Jumping on the flank, but he retreats to the Vickers. Coolbang down. Needs to be careful there for the killing effort. Losing that would be pretty bad here for Dave in the early moments of the game. Seems like something went wrong there for Dave. Moving up towards the cut-off point there. And setting up, engaging the Universal Carrier out in the open, getting some hits in there with the Sturmgewehrs. Section there sent running away. More filters the way there for Dave and Deutschland. Trying here, but oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. There we go. Successfully made it, pushing back the Vickers fast enough. We get a section moving up the west side here. In the east, almost got the cut-off point. Need to secure some fuel and victory points, and need to get the other Volksgrenadiers squad there moving. Sappers for Redxwings, giving them more moving elements here versus Dave. And there you go, at least got some of the Volksgrenadiers moving again. Other squad moving out, so 3 here. Might want to take out fast, and can take advantage of his Feuersturm to maybe at least equip one of them with MP40s and grenades and whatnot. Plus, of course, smoke. He's not pushing towards this point, just basically content with holding the Carth point. He does not want to extend forces versus Redxwings at the moment. Making for a push in the east of Vickers, Universal Carrier and Section. Back at base, we've got nothing further going on there, and there you go, engaging the Volksgrenadiers there. And there you go, Section popping up here between, with the house here and right next to the Sturm Pioneers. Flamethrower would be helpful, but that's likely not going to happen right away. Okay, now for reinforcing, truck arriving. Will likely be a battle group headquarters, of course, could try and pull a fast one with a battle group mechanized regiment. But again, I'm thinking it's going to be battle group headquarters, just seems more of a natural choice. Maybe then again, the size of the map could make the other, you know, the mechanized regiment looks to not be a bad idea. But there you go, Vickers number 2 moving in there, dealing with the Sturm Pioneers of the section that suffer heavily against it. So we'll see here what it ends up with. There's certainly options. There's certainly options here. Decisions to be made. Second out in the open, taking heavy damage from the Volksgrenadiers. Switching about here, trying to flank the Vickers. We can see the Redwings already anticipating the flank is beginning to fall back with his Vickers machine gun. We'll have to see there if Dave or Redwings is faster in that department. Up here, nothing happening with the truck yet. He's just too focused on the front line like Kednefer, slowly edging ahead. Grabbing the victory point there. Small lead here for Redwings so far. Vickers there takes some damage from the Volksgrenadiers starting the house. So they are taking heavy damage from the Vickers in return. So he ends up falling back there with the Volksgrenadiers, which is the right decision. Battle group headquarters up there. So they'll probably be a light infantry gun, I think, at the very least here versus Redwings. And Redwings they're bolstering. Okay, now opening up there on the sappers. Mines being laid down there to make it hard for Dave's forces to move about. Sturm Pioneers are very low and healthy. You might want to pull them back for reinforcements and healing. Unfortunately, they're being outmaneuvered here, but the same there you go. Quick Brandhand Granate. Plus a Kidnap for hit. Sappers spotted just as laying down the mines, forcing it to cancel, ruining all that work for Redwings and the Guards armoured. In the west, Sturm Pioneers they're forced back in the face of the Universal Carrier. Troops are healing and reinforcing. And there we go, good to go. Will he go for a flat half track? Or what will he do? That is the big question here for Dave. What will his options be? He could also just go for a bunch of MG34s, troops about here, trying to flank, outmaneuver. Because there's still a bit of a problem. But then again, if we can focus down with 2 filter squads here, there's a chance he could get a wipe since Redwings has kept it very low in health. There we go. Gunning down. There we go. Good chance of wiping and maybe even stealing it away. There we go. And that's going to be a bit of loss there for Redwings. A victory for the German army as they secure themselves a suppressor weapon. And seems like this is just going to be for the medics, at least for now. No sign on the flat calf track or anything else. I'll probably retreat that Vickers once he's done securing the calf point there, since it's low on health, and be better off just, you know, having it in a better state. He's going for an MG34 though, so I'm certainly further thinking he's going to conserve his fuel to push for the spare punted quarters and some armour from there. But certainly having 2 machine guns is going to be quite effective there versus Redwings. Army got the second doctrine chosen for Redwings, or well, from Redwings, and it is Commandos. Hello. Redwings does love Commandos. It's personally one of my favourite doctrines, though I've yet to sort of try it out that much after the changes. I'm certainly not entirely keen on the smoke raid operation changes, or rather like the old version personally, but I'm not going to tell you it's, you know, complete rubbish. And Dave goes for an Opel Blitz. Hello. Well, that's interesting. I haven't seen that one used much, though I do think it is quite neat, personally. I certainly like using it, so there you go. A truck there to support the frontline Truppen. Step on it, Helmut. Germany needs us. Oh, wait, I'm alone in this thing. Ah, poor Helmut. He got drafted into the Waffen-SS. Using the truck there to move ahead. Actually supports troops inside houses as well. I actually did not know that. I did not know that. That's actually pretty interesting. Brandhand Granate off, though he could also upgrade with MP40 and then pop the smoke grenade lying out of the troops. There you go. Attacking free of the centre, incendiary grenades, Vickers crew taking heavy damage, forcing the Redwings to abandon positions. You might want to fix up the Opel Blitz a bit. Not exactly known for its bulletproof qualities. 6-pounder going out. Wasp upgraded as well. Okay, enough moving ahead. And hitting the calf one as well there. So Redwings finding himself quite a bit on the defense here versus Dave at the moment, who's been able to rally. And there we go, Universal. Oh, only abandoned. He needs to finish it off there. I mean, he could try stealing it, but it's not going to work out. Took out a lamppost. Yeah, I'm sure that lamppost was a spy for the Tommies. And that piece of grass too. Just admit it, Helmut, you need glasses. There we go. Third time's the charm. So securing territory there, healing up. Still, I think he should repair the Opel Blitz a bit as well. They move to a slightly better position, although I support it more efficiently. But he can use actually quickly rush over to the west side with the section that's pushing for his fuel. Fun going on the eastern side. We got MP40s. Technically, was also one of the names before it was named the Sturmgewehr. But yeah, the official name was the Sturmgewehr, though again many would call it the MP44. Sturm has made the flying effort. Folks need to fall back here. Just moving in, we got the Opel Blitz slightly supporting here. Going for the victory point. And a Vic is being shifted over there to deal with the section on the fuel point. Back here, Dave could consider taking up by now, maybe set up to defend the calf point and the fuel point itself. Six-pounder gun just hanging back. Redwings already taking a hit here. And there you go. Section suffering some damage from shoot as the Vic just tears into them. Good lord, that weapon is inhumane. It's ours. Oh, that must be why. Anyways, incendiary grenade hit could be helpful there for Dave. And we got choice of Commandos there from Redwings. Of course, now cheaper. Section being pushed back there. Thusly making it a lot more useful, the call-in ability there. Since one of the reasons why so many people didn't use it is because the Commando call-in was quite expensive. But there you go, got a full squad there being transporting the Opel Blitz, maybe trying to react in there goes, hitting the fuel points. He has to rush in with the Opel Blitz. It would be helpful if he had another unit in sight there, I think, but should have a chance if he sort of pops right at the right distance. There you go. Commandos versus Volksgrenadiers supported by an Opel Blitz. And Schwer Panthers course sitting up there round another point here. They're pursuing the Opel Blitz. Got three of the Commandos though. Need to get troops down there. He might actually be theoretically able to disable these Schwer Panther quarters with a bit of bad luck here for Dave. Nope, not enough damage. And there you go, Commandos push back. Right in time there if he's stuck around for maybe, ooh, too long. Might still be there. He could suffer loss. No, the Sturm Punch does swing in to deal with it. Ooh. Where they get this machine gun, hit machine gun. Oh, mine in the way. The last man hits the mine. So I was able to stall Dave from getting more fuel. He still suffered a 390 manpower loss for it. We'll have to see though if it pays off for Redwings in the long term. But short term, it is not looking good. That is still 390 manpower down the drain with not too much to show for it. Dave following up here with MP40s and Obersoldaten. Schmeisses. Got the mines going up there, dealing with the glider. Dave is still controlling the nice chunk of the map here. And there goes section rest of the MP40 building Volksgrenadiers. And there we go, we got assault! We got assault, which now applies to all infantry, by the way. Not just the infantry sections, that was actually needed buff for it. And there you go, air recon's going in. The section they're still losing out here. They might be assaulting, but they're nothing compared to the MP40. Mines there, down filters moving in here. Opel Blitz moving up to support the Volksgrenadiers with reinforcements. Down here, Sturm Pioneers, not quite in an angle where they could deal with it. They could try and attack in ground, maybe home to catch it. Others need to slightly position them better. And there we go, Veterancy 2 for the Sturm Pioneer. More Commanders popping in right on the retreat path of the machine gun. Vic is falling out there, and he's going to lose the MD-34 to the Commander Squad number 2. Opel Blitz there, popping out for another position. Sturm Pioneers need to be careful, they could try and hit the calf point. All of a sudden here is the Commander support. Oh, that's a section supported by the Volksgrenadier Squad. Now the Opel Blitz. Rising Opel Blitz from hotspot to hotspot, provide vital frontline support for the German army. There we go, Commanders operating the Vic MD-34 there with the glide nearby to reinforce if need be. Got a bun grenade off though. I got caught up on the glider. That's bad luck. Sturm Pioneer still is leading about there. It looks like Redwings will be able to push out a tank first unless he gets to the fuel point fast enough. And even then, I mean, they're still more expensive for Dave, so Redwings is most likely to be able to push out a tank first, even if he gets the calf point. So a bit of a loss there for Dave and the German army, but he still has the Opel Blitz. He still has the mobile advantage, if you will. And again, he also has the advantage. He doesn't necessarily need to retreat as much, though. The glider right there can provide reinforcements as well for Redwings, though it is easier to take out since the glider in its current state is not mobile. Hey Gerald, how about we strap some more wheels and an engine to that thing? I don't think that's going to work. We're going to need a big engine. Also some other bits. Sounding the cool run for a bit of extra fuel there. Gute Arbeit. He's certainly, I think, making some good use of that Opel Blitz there. Making some good use. Which is nice to see, really. I feel like the Opel Blitz is getting a bit of short thrift, but just being able to move back and reinforce your troops is still a huge benefit. It's really what the Opel Commandos I feel has been missing. In a lot of ways. Plus, it's, you know, reload buff. They can also have certain units that are a bit slower with it. Like Sturmpioneers. So we got Vickers and our Redwings along with the two machine guns after seizing the MG34 Commandos versus the opposite side of the Volksgrenadiers. Now, of course, the opposite side of the moment, firepower there packs a bit more of a punch. Dave is closer to the Panther 4. Redwings quite not yet with the Cromwell. Now, also the bigger question is, Dave might want to consider a light infantry gun to help deal with the machine guns and the likes. I mean, in particular with access to incendiary rounds, that could be useful in sort of flashing things out. Their mine goes off. Folks with MP40s are pursuing the section. And there you go. Tommy goes down first. Albert follows shortly after. MP40 Volksgrenadiers are surprisingly good. Sturmpioneers need to retreat though. So Dave here is now in the position to go for the Panther 4. Could of course try and set up for the Panther. Grenade off there didn't have much of an impact. And I think he might want to retreat the Volksgrenadiers here. Might. Up here, section or Commando there pushed back with the Vickers on the MG34. No Panzer 4. Of course, he might be preoccupied with other matters. Centaur for Redwings. Interesting choice there. And their bomb grenade off. Ah! Machine gun dodged it just in the nick of time. That was pretty close there for Redwings. Well, one thing they have made it so houses aren't quite as affected by grenades. Oh, that's that Church would have suffered a huge loss there from the bomb grenade. Opel Blitz moving up against support. Davey at the front line, 6-pounder gun cleared out. He might try and steal it, though I think he'd better off just salvaging it. I think Davey's aiming here for a Panther. They could still afford a light infantry gun. The lightest infantry Schutz, now cheaper. Machine gun section moving ahead here for Redwings. And there goes Centaur out for the Guards Armour Division. 6-pounder gun recruit. Falling back here towards the Opel Blitz. Dave's maintaining good map control there. No, he is going for the Panther 4 though. Maybe he had a change of heart. Hard to say here. Hard to say. Salvaging the glider for fuel. Definitely a good choice there. Ooh, hits a mine there as they get blasted by the Centaur. Can he get behind the corner of the church fast enough? Yes, indeed. Falling back here towards a safe position. Healing laid down. It's going to maintain a frontline position versus Redwings. Panther 4 halfway done. He's still got manpower floating and more orbs gun could be an idea. But a part of me is thinking again light infantry guns. And again, just being able to, you know, bombard the machine guns with incendiary fires could prove to be quite helpful here for Dave. Making it harder for Dave to make use of Redwings to use of the houses. So, I mean, that would help him out, I think. Plus, smoke would, you know, be quite helpful for Dave as well, you know, covering some of his advances or retreats. Mines being laid down there. Redwings sending from sharp with the mines as always. Back here, Commander setting out. Centaur with 2 kills so far. More Sturmgewehrs, having 2 Sturmgewehrs and 1 MP40. I think is a sort of a good combo there for Dave. A good organisation of men. And there you go, Panther 4 sending up. Is he planning a Flammhetzer maybe? I mean, that could also be used instead of the light infantry gun, I think. Could at least get away with it. No, he's biotaking the path here because he's anticipating this 6-pounder gun directly supporting here, so he's trying to prevent that from happening. And overall, seems like he made the right choice there. Grenade off! Didn't do too much there. Might want to harass the Redxwings fuel cut off again. Panther 4 needs to fall a bit back. Got the 6 pounder gun there now opening up on the Panther 4. Penetrating its 80mm of armour. Getting there for the Opel down, and of course reinforcement from the Opel Blitz. Again, it's a really strong choice there for Dave. Really strong choice, and I think it's doing a lot here, in particular on a larger map like Arnhem Checkpoint. The Opel Blitz is just even stronger. Since again, it just means he's not spending time having to retreat all the time and going back and forth there. Still, Pioneers were a bit too slow to do anything there, and were caught up by the Centaur. Dave might be turning up for another Panther 4. Not a bad choice at all. I mean, 2 Panther 4s is better than 1. And Redxwings, I think, would be a bit vulnerable to it. I still feel like Dave is flooding a bit too much manpower for my comfort, and I still think light infantry guns here could be a strong choice as well. Or more Obersoldaten. I mean, you could basically try and push for an artillery edge, or you could try and push for sort of a stronger infantry edge here versus Redxwings. We got more to cover here, which has also received some changes. More focus now. There we go. Forcing Dave to fall back here. The Opel Blitz cannot wait against white phosphorus. So we'll see what Dave ends up with, but he's only got the resource of the Panther 4 number 2. He could also go for Jagdpanzer. That would be a half-back choice either. I mean, he's got plenty of choices. It's just they aren't quite materializing into something more. Might be that Dave is ultimately not entirely 100% sure if he wants to counter Redxwings strategy. I mean, Redxwings is a much more wily and cagey opponent, and lastly can be hard to predict for a player like Dave. And lastly also fully respond to. Plus, I mean, Commando is a strong doctrine once you know how to use it. But Kedmeth for loss, that's a big loss there for Dave. And we can see that Redxwings is very keen on quickly knocking out. He's got 2 6-pounder guns. That's going to make it harder there for Dave to attack certainly head on with any armour. It's going to put him more towards flanking. And would also, again, further think necessitate light infantry guns for artillery support and some way of dealing with them. Either through smoke or direct. Oh, dear, lost the Volksgrenadier escort. Now Dave is really beginning to suffer there. He needs to replace the infantry losses definitely now. And also needs to be careful with his Panzer 4 around the front line. The 2 6-pounder guns can currently take it out in one volley. So I think Dave here needs to pull back the Panzer 4 for repairs, then coordinate with the rest of his force and launch a larger assault. But he's rather keen here, I think, sort of putting through in the centre. Pretty risky there. But he has been able to cut Redxwings off from his fuel again, and that is probably one of Dave's big edges for now, that he has been consistently able to deny Redxwings fuel, whereas Redxwings been very focused on the centre. More Obersoldaten. Panzer 4 pulling back for repairs. Good. Need to be careful the other one. I still think there's room for a light infantry gun personally. As for Redxwings, he could consider a mortar emplacement maybe. He could also consider another section just for the ability to call in artillery. That could be an option. But I imagine he's going to go for, yes indeed, Amble Tactics. Redxwings is a big fan of that one. And I imagine he's going to save up for a Churchill next, which is going to be a bit of an issue for the Panther 4s. Will force him to consider some other measures. In particular, once the Churchill is supported by the 2 6-pounder guns. So we'll see what David does. Troop ceiling reinforcing. Big 2 points wise. Dave's also got a small lead here with Redxwings. Small but notable. But I think Dave needs to sort of try and locate the anti-tank guns, then transfer the attack elsewhere where they aren't. Get some hits in there with the Panzer 4s by all-wearing whatever is there, and then maybe try and bait in the anti-tank guns when they try to react and sort of destroy them. It's going to be a bit tricky here for Dave, and he's sending in his 6-pounder Panzer 4 there on its own. Losing a bit of that, I think, Panzer shot effect there, though it's getting some good hits in the Vickers machine gun. The MG34 actually, never mind. Commandos rolling in orbit, something suppressed. We got the Centaur joining in, 6-pounder guns moving up as well here. Grenade off on the Volksgrenadiers. Wiped fully there by a light gun bomb and the Centaur. Bit of a loss there for Dave. He's down to just the MP40 Volksgrenadiers and the Obersoldaten plus the Sturm Pioneers. Great hit from the 6-pounder gun up close, but he's pulling in there with the Obersoldaten. Going for the 6-pounder guns. There still has to be mindfully. I think he increasingly might want to consider Jagdpanzer to focus down the centre from a longer range. There you go. Got one of the 6-pounder guns though. Other Panther 4. There we go. Blitzing in. If you can't get the centre, I'll probably prioritize the 6-pounder guns first. There you go. Dave is on it. Dave is on it. We've got a lot of infantry moving ahead there. Need to either destroy or salvage the other one before we can do anything about it. We've got a huge amount of infantry out in the open here. So he's holding in there, but there's a chance he could crash a lot with the tank. Or at least prevent them from doing too much there. Infantry forced away. He needs to pull back the Panthers, and there's nothing to prevent him from getting the anti-tank guns back in operation and destroying the Panther 4, so they just need to fall back here. Pathing those not particularly helping with that. He shouldn't try and destroy the anti-tank guns like that. We got a trot away for Dave, so is he actually playing for a King Tiger now? I mean, it could work here for Dave, but I don't know. Again, I think I'd prioritise more elements for being able to deal with the 6-pounder guns, because if we can get rid of those 6-pounder guns, the rest is going to be very open. But he needs to fix up the Panzer 4s, and the mechanised regiment will assist with that. He needs plans to go for some repair pioneers first. King Tiger, all that stalling there. They should probably try and harassing Redxwings fuel more again. Redxwings can soon go for the Churchill. So we'll see here what Dave ends up with. Mines going off. Centaur strikes. Got 20 kills already. Dave is in a sticky situation now here versus Redxwings. Panzer 4 there close to victory 2. Machine gun caught here by the Panzerkampfwagen 4. Doesn't get too much damage done, but enough to push away the machine gun crew. And not much effort here from Redxwings or Dave in the east. He's probably partly concerned about the Centaur moving in and murdering his harassers. There you go, both Panzer 4s good to go there for Dave and the Panzer Division. As he does seem to be aiming towards the King Tiger, the Königstiger. His current rate of resources, though, it's going to take him about 8 minutes to get there, and then he goes for the Stukas. So he's not going for the King Tiger, he's aiming for the Stukas first. He wants artillery, but he's not aiming for the light infantry guns as I would anticipate he would have gone for. He's going for the Stukas Fuss. That one's a bit tricky to use, and I actually haven't seen Dave use it. I mean, it might be that Dave's really good with it, but just I see most players aren't particularly good at it, so as a rule of thumb I never recommend it. But I mean, the Stukas Fuss cut in Dave's hand maybe work out. Then again, it might be just the one thing Dave isn't good at. We'll find out, we'll find out. His Opel Blitz also seemed to... Oh, there we go, getting some repairs. Also, they're dealing with the sappers that hit the calf point. Panther 4 supporting an eastern expansion there, again trying to harass Redxwings fuel. Centaur roughly halfway down there for Redxwings and the Guards armoured. So, Stukas Fuss. Highly interesting choice there. Not what I would anticipate from Dave. Not what I anticipate. Slightly slowing down there. He's going for another Keddenwerfer. He's probably anticipating some kind of large armoured response from Redxwings. Also unsuppressed here by the Vickers. We've got the section nearby, very close to Veteran 3. And there you go, got the Stukas Fuss out. I mean, if you can take out the anti-tank guns, obviously it's going to be a big loss there for Redxwings in one go. And particularly, you could probably just focus them down with the Panzer 4s. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. He first has to spot them and ascertain them, and somehow manage to pin them down for a bit. Did he just fire anyways? No, it just sounded like it briefly. One Panzer 4 on the west, one Panzer 4 up the centre. He might be trying to use this bait. Sturm has been suppressed here by the Centaur and the Vickers. Volksgrenadiers also moving up on the other side. Almost got the center there. This guy needs support for the Panthers against the center though. And still gets is firing. Oh, need to fall back with it though. Ah. Lost his remaining Volksgrenadier squad. Didn't get the center. Didn't get the Vickers either. He's rushing into his Panther 4. He wants that center dead. And he finally gets it. Puts out its mystery. And then straight into 6-pounder anti-tank mine. Kedna Panther 4, number 2 moving up. He's going to support this well because the 6-pounder guns will be closing in fast. His Panther 4's always got its rearmament exposed. We've got artillery caught, not airborne support called in there. Support against it. Blitzkrieging here. 6-pounder guns opening on the Panther 4. And he's stuck on the Churchill. And there you go. Panther 4 down. No infantry support to help deal with the 6-pounder guns. Artillery strike does not take out the Lakedna. Orbs are finally moving in here. Panther 4 dodges most of it. Lakedna goes down to the second barrage. Most houses in the centre collapsed. That was a pretty brutal engagement. There you go. Dave loses his second Panther 4 here. Second Panther 4 down. That is a massive loss here for Dave. Redxwings now has a notably larger force here than Dave. He's got the Churchill. Infantry-wise, he's got a bit more going on there, though. Dave does have the Opel done, but that was still a pretty excruciating loss there. Dave needs to work out some magic here, I think, to have a chance now versus Redxwings. Losing those 2 Panther 4s, I think, is a loss he is going to be struggling quite a bit to overcome. The lack of infantry support that Panther 4 did not have. I mean, had they maybe been able to get some in there, he could have probably dealt with the anti-tank guns. Sadly, he did not consider rushing in the Opel Blitzer with some troops to maybe assist with that. But there you go. Stuckers was firing. Oh, he's going to try and get that Vickers, maybe. Yeah. Sadly, Dave does not so far seem to have any greater luck with the Stuckers than most other players. I'm definitely increasingly in the thought he should have just gone for the light infantry guns sooner. Would have much bigger impact versus the Vickers, and of course provide him with the smoke, which Dave of course is fond of using. I think could have a nice impact there versus Redxwings in times, would also allow him to neutralise the 6-pounder guns much more easily. For example, during that assault. Since worst case scenario, he just smoked them, preventing them from firing. He's marked this the machine gun there to the Churchill after that grenade. Moving up the Opel Blitzes to support with reinforcements, good. But that is another brutal loss there for Dave. More Ken was on the way there, points being secured, losing his own western fuel point here, though 2 Redxwings plucky section. Commandos versus the Obersoldaten. Goodbye to Ladnung. Oh, into their path, and he almost went straight into it there. That would have been a decent win there for Dave. Putting everything else, so Ken for those about to get wiped out here though. In with the Orbs on there, eventually free supporting. That was definitely pushing his luck a bit too far there. Sturm is advancing. He's recruiting it with them. Pulling back towards the Opel Blitz. So he doesn't have to reinforce them. Very good. The Opel Blitz continues to serve the fatherland. Laying down booby traps. Sehr gut. Sehr gut. Now the question is, will he aim for a Panther 4 more, or is he going to try and not sort of extricate himself from the Panther? I mean, he could theoretically go for a King Tiger, but I think would at the current moment just be too much of an advantage and too much initiative he's conceding to Redxwings if he tried, and considering the soft as his loss he suffered. Can you catch it here? Maybe. And no. It was a nice attempt, though. It was a nice attempt. But so far, fortune does not seem to favour Dave there. 2 Kenevs now in action. Steel Piles being enforced. Churchill being repaired. 6-pounder guns down standby. Booby trap team in the victory point there. And we got the Steel Pioneers halfway towards Redxwings. When we get them there, that's going to be huge for them. They get a 40% accuracy bonus there, which is pretty big in terms of lethality. particularly when they already have a flamethrower. Using the Opel Blitz to support. Opel's on setting out. They're not fully reinforced. Of course, we can just link up with the Opel Blitz. Duke has a first reloading. And here we go. Booby trap. Opel's on there. Oh, light gun bomb. Oh dear. That was lucky there. Like, they're more or less right in the midst of the grenade. There you go. Opel Blitz supporting. And a second Churchill. Looks like though Davies aiming for the Panther again. He could theoretically go for the King Tiger, though it's not what I'd recommend.
We're losing a capture point.
Sappers running. We've got heavy sappers out for Redwings. So he should have the resources now for the Panther. So now's the time. He's aiming for the Panther. He's aiming for the King Tiger. Still pun. He's using the Blitz to hit the machine gun before he can realize what's going on. Very nice work there. Again, I'm liking the Opel Blitz and how Dave is utilising it. It's nice to see some motorised infantry tactics. Churchill number 2 on the way, and looks like he is in fact aiming for the King Tiger. Which point he is roughly... Well, if you get the fuel point, roughly 4 minutes, but if you can't, it's 5 minutes. And he's going to be having to try and deal with 2 Churchill tanks from Redwings in the meanwhile. There's going to be quite a chance. We got more booby traps there. That's very good. That is very good. No, he goes for the Panther. He does go for the... Full wipe there from the booby trap. My God, Otto. How do you make your booby traps so effective? I make it look like a big crate of tea. They always fall straight for it. Oh, mine went off there. MD needs to retreat though. Looks like... No, he cancels the Panther. Looks like he's back to the King Tiger plan. Maybe the destruction of the sapper section there with the booby trap has inspired Dave with a bit of a hope. More mines going off there. In the meanwhile though, big push here from Redwings. Churchill with increasingly depleting commandos. Opel squadron to defend the car front against the section there. Going for the mechanized regiment, but Kednov's moving up. Kednov's on the Churchill, 1 penetrating, got 2 Churchills up there. Highly well move there from Dave now, going for the King Tiger, considering everything. All Blitz being reinforced there. Sadly, they do not get the reinforcement aura, or else that make them quite busted. Kednov down. Just going to use his jump on this thing against the crew here. Commandos launching up with the Orbital Darden. White, there we go. Mechanized regiment taking heavy damage. Orbital flanking in there, going for the 6-pounder guns, though they are low on health, and they might be wiped out with the Churchill tank. Need to retreat the Orbital on there for a bit as well. Looks like one got wiped because they did not retreat, or because they took a worse retreat path here. Hard to say. Mechanized regiment down. It's definitely feeling like not the right choice here going for the Panther here. I mean, even the Panther would obviously struggle with this. I mean, he still lacks firepower. But, I mean, it might have been a better choice here than the King Tiger plan. But it seems like Dave is fully committed to it now. And he's barely got anything left as he commits to it. So, this has a better work for Dave, or he's dead meat. Artillery strike, got airport strike called in there. He couldn't fuse it up there for anti-aircraft support. Most people never use that ability though. Got one of the Churchills though with the Stukas of Fuss. Bombing strike did not take out the Schwerpunted quarters. And with the distraction of one of the Churchills, he might have a chance for the King Tiger. Of course, there's still the 2 anti-tank guns he has to be worried about. But Dave is certainly going all in there. He is going all in. More orbitals down the meanwhile for the German army. About a minute away there from the Königstiger. The Tiger 2. More Churchills with Redxwings. So we shall see how this ends up. Fixing up the Schwerpanzer quarters. Obviously does not want to lose a source of elite infantry. There we go. Almost there, almost there. Big push with infantry up into the west. And straight into a booby trap. Only kills 2 this time around. Oh dear. Bomb grenade at the right time. They could do the trick. And there we go. Might just be able to do it. And there we go. King Tiger out for Dave and the German army. Tiger 2. Vorwärtsleiter. Section moving up. You got the booby trap ready. Obersoldaten also waiting up behind a few barrels. And more damage here. Gaining veterancy 3. Churchill number 3 up for Redxwings. You might want to salvage that for a bit of extra fuel. And whatever extra fuel Dave can get now is going to, I think, be critical. Because that means he can then faster bring up some support for the King Tiger. All Blitz also moving towards the centre. King Tiger moving towards us as well. Need to get the Stukas within range as well. Looks like he's getting ready here for a larger scale assault. He's going to try and break Redxwings. So I'm not entirely sure he's got the forces for that, but it could be, you know, the make or break moment here. Maybe. Probably gone from around the church. There you go. Obersoldaten taking up position here. Catching the machine gun crews out in the open. 6-pounder guns exposed. King Tiger and Stukas was firing in as well. There you go. Ah, didn't get the machine gun there. Got into tanks exposed. King Tiger advancing. Obersoldaten they need to be careful. Almost got the 6-pounder gun at the 6 moving in there. With support by a machine gun. King Tiger taking heavy damage. Need to fall back. There we go. White Frost is called in here. King Tiger taking heavy damage. Obersoldaten need to retreat. That did not work out too well there for Dave. That did not work out too well. Good hit there from the King Tiger. Shot bounced. More Volksgrenadiers there for Dave. Need to get that King Tiger fixed up schnell. That did not quite have the impact that I imagined Dave hoped for. Now all the points are being lost to the victory points. Rushing another blitz. Ah, oh, it's a nice idea, but he's got no idea what's around there. He's got no idea, and there's both Churchill tanks. And he finally lost the Opel Blitz. I would say it's quite well here for Dave. So quite well. Just a shame it had to go down like that. Quick bomb and grenade supported by the veteran 2 German Vickers, and there you go, burning away at the machine gun. You could have popped incendiary armor piercing rounds there, to be honest, but did not. Churchill rolling ahead. King Tiger to go, need to get him moving forwards. I think Dave's next project there should be a Yak Panzer. Regular Cromlech to probably help try and flank the King Tigers that deals with the Churchills. Stukas, of course, I think should also try and, you know, get ready to deal with whatever needs to be dealt with. Catching the 6-pounder gun, Churchill. King Tiger moves down there, catching the Churchill in his sights. Cromwell, depending on the Obersoldaten from easily dealing with the 6-pounder gun, forcing retreat. penetrating hit there from the front.
A capture point is being overrun.
Head on attack into the Vickers, but there you go, due to sheer firepower and veterans, he succeeds, gets the gun, and there you go, wipes out the Vickers. It is down. Dave is approaching in the possibility of a Yak Panzer. Good hit from the King Tiger on the Cromwell. You still, of course, has to be mindful of 6-pounder guns, and there you go, veterans one game for the King Tiger. Because they're not doing anything. Good hit on the Churchill tank. He's getting close to the Yak Panzer. Ever closer. Veteran form the Opel Blitzes. Got the Cromwell needs to fall back with the King Tiger to get repaired. Got Church moving in. The Stukas was moving ahead, but yeah, he needs to get it out of there as well. Vickers grabbing the western victory point. Looks like the Stukas of Fuss might be able to escape the Churchill tank troops in reinforcing. King Tiger falling back. He's very close to the Yak Panzer. Very, very close. Pops into the house to cover the western victory point. I think that's the right choice. So King Tiger there, 2 kills. Slowly approaching Metri to even get there. That certainly helped it out neatly. We got Sappers on the way there for Redxwings as his tank's getting repaired. Also think should be careful about pushing the King Tiger too fast ahead. He's trying to catch up with that Churchill, which is actually close to it to the fleet. There's still the 6-pounder guns to be reckoned with. Okay, apparently he misclicked there. The DD for some reason refused, not helping out obviously. Section hitting the calf point. He can now go for the Yak Panzer Barber. He does have the resource. Well, he even got the resource of the Panzer IV. But I think with the 2 Churchill tanks and the things that I think he's better off with the Yak Panzers. That can threaten the Churchills much more. I mean, it's either that or the Panther IV. So now tries to use the King Tiger as bait and then flanks the bastard. There you go. Wipe the section though. More Sturm Pioneers for Dave, probably help repair the King Tiger faster. Bring up the eastern side. Then we have to keep a man out of their minds out here from Redxwings. So we got a Commando squad out.
We're losing a capture point.
Pretty tense fight so far here. Pretty tense fight. King Tiger almost good to go. Is he planning a Panther now? I mean, that would be pretty risky, but a King Tiger and a Panther could be a potentially strong combination there for Dave. And there you go, Commandos landing more or less straight on the machine gun there, forcing it away. Need to fall back and bring up some armor. He's going to lose it. I mean, there's no point retreating now, I guess. There you go, wiped. Pushing for the center. Stukas was fine, King Tiger moving in. And once more, didn't do too much. But we still got the 6-pounder gun, that's a help. King Tiger advancing, engaging the Churchill tank, penetrating the frontal armor here. Other Churchill tank could try and flank in support. King Tiger there getting flanked, 6-pounder gun sitting up. Need to fall back with the King Tiger, need to be careful here, Dave. Force it. Fulton's almost being wiped out. Looks like he is very much playing here for the Panther now. I'm guessing that again, Dave has quickly made some indecisions here sort of rapidly. Commandos on the flank. Bit problem here. Fulton's going to get wiped. Another loss there for Dave, which is certainly going to be a struggle to replace. Mickers there batting the house. And go Vetri to increased accuracy, increased turret rotation on the King Tiger. A fun fact, the King Tiger actually had a pretty solid turret rotation. It was actually incredibly fast compared to the regular Tiger one, which actually had a slow turret rotation. It's a fun fact there. Need to be careful of the King Tiger though. Going for the 6-pounder gun, destroying it, at least attempting to. He's got the resource now for the Panther. It's now or never, I would say. Almost not being wiped out. Almost got the Churchill. Can he get rid of it? No, I think it's getting away. He's salvaging the anti-tank guns, by the way. There you go. Panther on the way for Dave. Panther on the way. Barrels being blown apart. Careful there, Dave. Careful, Dave.
HQ is under attack. Typical enemy trick, isn't
No, Dave! 9! 9, Dave! 9! I wish I could say sorry, Dave, but I can't let you do that. Pull back the King Tiger, Dave! Pull back here, clear out the Vickers then in the meanwhile. Troops reinforcing, healing. Could allow to shoot there. Need to be careful, he does knock it out! I think you missed a slot opportunity to destroy it, but oh well. Panthers arrived. Need to get Sturm parts down there to link up with the King Tiger and then fix it up. Firefly on the way for the Redwings. Firefly. Section there, there's the Königstiger. Alright, let's just keep shooting. It'll somehow work out. Somehow. I'm sure of it. Also, that could have been really nasty if the Panther penetrated the rear arm of the King Tiger, taking it out. This is so tense. Orbs reinforcing here in the east. Orbs have done successfully pushed back the Commandos. Veterans C5. Hardened veterans. Ugh, I knew I should have worn my mine-proof socks. Do you have those? I like to think so, yeah. Both Sturm Cross Hot and working the King Tigers to repair the gap, the fuel victory point there. More Volksgrenadiers for Dave, very good. Panthering about, they want to ensure the King Tiger doesn't get rushed and destroyed. Stukas of us setting out, Orbson setting out. Almost got the point of might have to retreat here. It would be a shame to lose the vets into 5 orbital garden. There you go, retreat. Even then there's a chance now loses them. With a bit of bad luck. Veteran D3 Churchill tank. Panther sets out. King Tiger almost good to go. This is a crazy fight. Crazy. Firefly rolling out. Careful of the Panther on its own, Dave. 9. There you go. Firefly shoots. Need to pull back. They need to wait for the King Tiger, I think, to have a chance to. Yeah, hands up. Penerton hit there. Firefly that easily gets one as well. Grab the calf point. King Tiger needs to get moving. Schnell salvaging the other glider for fuel. But yeah. Fix up the Panther, then work together with the King Tiger, then hunt down the Firefly first, then deal with the Churchills. When you do that, I think Dave should still have a chance of securing victory here, and particularly get that thing in a higher veterancy. But we'll see here. Lining up the victory point on the west. 100 points left for Dave, 153 for Redwings. Dave has actually managed to come back from the loss of those 2 early Panzer IVs there, which I was actually kind of thinking that was GG, but he seemingly still has a chance. But it's still going to be pretty close. It's going to be pretty close. He can't afford to take the Redwings lightly at all. And obviously Redwings can't afford to do the same. King Tiger snapping away at the section. Panther almost good to go. Stukas of us, I think, should join in. They need to be able to just hammer anything that needs to die very rapidly. And there you go, King Tiger, Panther good to go. Have the King Tiger spearhead. Have the Panther to deal with any sort of additional threats. Careful, Dave. Careful. Force it. 75 points left for Dave. Going for the eastern victory point, running into Churchill. They need to retreat. Going for the centre one. Need armour support though. There's machine guns and whatnot. There you go, focusing down the Firefly. That is definitely, I think, the right choice here for Dave. There's the biggest threat to his tanks at the moment. Oh, rockets miss. Almost got the Firefly. Churchill down to half health. 65 points left here for Dave. Panther almost definitely down. There we go, got the Firefly, but there's still the 6-pounder gun now. Need to retreat the Panther here, I think, for... Oh, Churchill blocks retreat path. He's going to lose the Panther. 9. He's got 2 ace Churchills. That's pretty bad for Dave. He's down to just the King Tiger now. Close to Veteran 3, but that's sadly not going to grant it extra firepower. That's reserved for the higher levels of Veteran, like Veteran 5. Main gun out. Stuggers was done, and with that I think it's GG here for Dave. It was close, it was close. Game over, game over. A loss here for the German army, victory for the Brits. Was pretty close there, was pretty close at times, but Dave, unfortunately, I think made some tactical misdecisions, plus a bit of bad luck, really screwed over Dave, resulting ultimately in defeat of his Redxwings, who played rather aggressively, using Commando Regiment, I think overall quite efficiently here, versus Dave. That's what Dave could have done better, maybe. More mines, I think. He shouldn't have played for that King Typhoon. He just pushed for more armor right then and there. And I think a Yak Panzer at some point could also have benefited Dave quite nicely, maybe supported by Flammhetzer. And I also think that Stuttgart's Fuss was a poor choice, and there should have been more light infantry guns sooner, which could overall lay down smoke and provided more supporting elements there for Dave, just maybe flushed out some of those machine guns. So that's sort of my perspective there. I mean, Redwings did really well. And the Churchills long-term turned out to be a strong asset because Dave just couldn't kill them. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay of your own, apart some feedback in the comment section. If you like what I do, consider donating or pledging on Patreon. The links are in the video description. And of course, a big thanks to all those who have pledged on Patreon and those who have donated. So thank you all, and see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.